Alright, so, there would be no way you could hit that guy, right? Like, this is too far. This shouldn't be possible. I'll show you how it's done. Alright, first character creation. We are going to be building the Eldritch Sniper, a time-honored classic build from tabletop D&D, one that has caused many a headache for DMs out there. I can hear them screaming at me from the ether that I am introducing this build to the BG3 uh, community. Well, it's not just me. PHB 2024 mod is ultimately responsible because they put Eldritch Spear and reworded Spell Sniper. But as I will reiterate that you can only have this build with if you have the PHB 2024 mod installed for Baldur's Gate 3. Uh, introduces Eldritch Spear back into the game, as well as rewording Spell Sniper to be more in line to what it is on tabletop. But for character creation, any race will be fine. Um, I am using Shadowheart again as an example because for some reason, she was the healer and I was using Celestial Warlock to be the healer in this game, but anyone will be fine. I will also add though, um, PHP 2024 mod has reintroduced Variant Human back into uh, BG3. So Variant Human adds another feat to the feat you already get from your background. So PHP 2024, um, now if you pick a background, there's a feat that is associated with that background. So Urchin, I believe, has Savage Attacker, and Acolyte has Magic Initiate Cleric attached to them. So those don't change. Variant Human, you can pick from a selected list. It's about a third of all the feats uh, currently in the mod that you can pick for your human character that will be part of your character from level 1. So humans are no longer the vanilla pick, they are now the overpowered pick. But if you want to go that route, pick human. But again, this build will work for any race. All right. And also, if you did not know, you can change Shadowheart's high half elf cantrip, right? You just go back a few way, and then you can pick a non-combat cantrip instead of a firebolt, which you now have light um, to use for Act 2. Alright, first level will be in Warlock. You are, of course, going to get Eldritch Blast, best cantrip in the game, and any other cantrip is fine. I've picked Concussion, which is another addition made by the mod, simply to deal with those pesky floating eyes that require thunder damage for them to die in one hit. Spells doesn't really matter again, but I've gone for the classic Armor of Agathis and Hellish Rebuke. Eldritch Invocations. So again, the mod has changed how Eldritch Invocations are presented to you. The top ones up to about Pack of Tome. So Pack of Tome is where this is all your first level ones. So you can pick these at first level, starting from here. They're all second level, and then as you go lower and lower down the list, the level that you need to be to access um, those invocations gets higher and higher. So, what you want is Pack of the Tome because Pack of the Tome has also been reworded by the mod. You always have the Hex spell prepared. You can cast Hex without expending a spell slot a number of times equal half to your charisma modifier rounded down, minimum once, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. So you don't need to have Hex in your spell list. It's always going to be there, and that is one of the best additional damage sources for your Eldritch Blast. So that's what you want. And any subclass is fine. Like I said, since I always have Shadowheart in mind as the healer, I was trying out the Celestial for her, and then I realized that Eldritch Spear was back in the game, and they had reworded Spell Sniper, and so you could do this type of shenanigans in BG3 that we did back in the day with 5e. And as you can see here, this is her background. You cannot change this, but the mod itself, if you're going for a tab, has a bunch of new backgrounds, all having different feats attached to them. Go have a look. It's great. So, your ability points. This is the spread that you kind of want to have. Doesn't all that is necessary is that you max out charisma. Everything else is, you know, it, not super necessary. I would probably split it along lines like this: 10 strength for increased carrying capacity. 14 dex is fine. 14 con is fine. 8 intelligence. You don't really need to just do a lot of intelligence checks. Wisdom for the saves, and charisma because that is your main stat. If you are going to playing this as your tab, you do want the charisma-based skills. If this is Shadowheart, Will, or any other companion, doesn't really matter which skills you choose. And that's it. All right, so let's see currently our range. This is level 1. We have not had any bonuses applied. As you can see, too far. Target is too far. There is no way the computer just goes, no, there's no way, no matter what you do, that you can hit this target, no matter what. Like, it doesn't even allow me to the option of, oh, maybe you can run here and say you can hit it. See, as you can see, if I target that, you'll see a little silhouette in the near the middle of your screen in white that says if you run here, then yeah, you can hit that spot. Um, that doesn't even come up as an option if I'm trying to target this guy because it's just too far. To Warlock 2. Yeah, let's get Witch. Actually, let's get Take Witch Bolt. And so, as you can see, we are now able to access these because we are Warlock 2. We want Agonizing Blast, so we will leave that there. We will continue, and now see how this check mark is the one that's highlighted. We uncheck that and check Eldritch Spear. And that is it. Um, you pretty much got most of what you need for this build. There's just one feat to go, but for you at least, your Eldritch Blast can now hit in range. As you can see, um, doesn't even have to move to get these two. But what about uh, our um, level 1 spells? Not a chance. See? Still too far. So we are trying to cast Witch Bolt. Too far. Not a chance. I will... Oh, but another thing I should point out is, with my testing, it seems that Eldritch Spear, that where it says it should only affect Eldritch Blast, seems to affect every other cantrip in the game, as you can see. Concussion now has the range to get these two from this rooftop. And we will see once we get to we will take, so I'm going to level up for 4 levels into Sorcerer, and we'll see what happens there. So we will take an AoE, a melee spell, Lightning Lure, and that'll take this one. We will take Magic Missile just to see whether or not that is affected. And we will take Chromatic Orb. We will go Spellfire Sorcery and go on. So we get sorcery points, so we want Mage Armor and Shield as standard. Now we want Distance Spell for one of our meta magics. Now your other choices should be really Quicken Spell or Twin Spell. I have a preference for Quickened, but if you pick Twinned, it's almost as good, maybe just as good, but I do prefer Quickened. Twinned is a very, very close third that I will pick as my next meta magic as soon as I am able to. And we move forward again. Level 3 doesn't really have much for us. We're just gonna pick a few more things. And ooh, did I just pick? No. And what's important for us is character level 6 when we get Warlock 2 and Sorcerer 4. So we now have, let's go, this is in save, so yeah, let's do that. And let's go for Shatter for another AoE. And now we want to get Spell Sniper. As you can see here, it has been reworded in this mod. Casting in melee, being within 5 feet of an enemy doesn't impose disadvantage on attack rolls with spells. Now this is a toggle that you need to turn on before your spells are affected. But this is great for us because as an Eldritch Blast spammer, that means we just don't need to swap over to any other spells. Increased range. Increase the range of spells to make an attack roll by 50%. As you can see there, it specifies that it only increases the range of spells that makes an attack roll. So, Scorching Ray, Chromatic Orb, that sort of thing. And we are picking that. And we are applying the +1 that comes with it into Charisma, giving us a +4 modifier at level 6. Just to show you exactly what we can do now. So, like I said, every cantrip has the ridiculous range of Eldritch Blast due to Eldritch Spear. So we can now do this with Acid Splash and Lightning Lure. So Lightning Lure is a very, very short range spell, but because of Eldritch Spear, we can pull. Oh, no, we need one more. Eldritch Spear and Distance Spell. Yeah, we can now pull this guy from from the rooftop down in the ground. Um, yeah. So, a little bit overpowered, I guess, but fun. Let's just see. Magic Missile. Oh my god. Magic Missile now has this range. If I stand, I think if I stand here, I could clear out the all of them if I had, enough magic missiles. But wow. All right. So, what does that tell us? It tells us that Spell Sniper does not just affect spells that have an attack roll. Shatter is also has an increase of range, as you can see. We can now go from rooftop to this rooftop with Shatter. So, uh, if you don't want to exploit that little bug, um, stick with Eldritch Blast. Best cantrip in the game anyway. Eldritch Blast and Hex, you could probably solo the game simply by being in stealth, um, shooting from a distance because they're not gonna spot you, and you can cast Hex at a distance as well. So you have the damage riders on top of your Eldritch Blasts. So you could pretty much solo the game this way. High enough stealth score, yeah. You will get in trouble though once you meet a boss or a fight in a more enclosed space. Eh. But yeah, that is it. That is the Eldritch Sniper. I can hear the gnashing of teeth of a million souls of uh, dungeon masters yelling at me for introducing this build. But hey, it's fun for the players. All right, that's it, guys. Um, I hope you enjoyed, and as always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all next time. Cheers.